Hello everyone, peace of the Lord Jesus Christ with everybody. Our verse today is very important, and I hope all people who support what we do, you will copy this video and you put it in your YouTube page, because this one can shut up anyone try to prove to you that Islam or Quran is from God, and you will see why. So please, after you listen to it, if you agree with me, copy it to your YouTube so we can spread it out in all YouTube and everybody can see how full is the God of Islam. Always we hear Muslims talking about the God of Islam who knows and who told us about the creation of the universe, right? They have tons of videos about that, and I'm going to refute them all because all of them they are a bunch of lies. But this verse is very short, very small, and very easy to show that Allah is a liar and He does not know anything about universe. I made this, this is a photo, this is the page, okay, this is the page. I made a photo for the page because I want to add a line under letters just to show you things more clear. So this is the same page as you see, no change, I don't change anything, I don't play with anything, all what I did in here, you will see, I did add this line under a letter. Now what is that letter? Before we start, this letter is wa. Wa mean in Arabic and. Wa, when you see this letter between two words in Arabic, alone, not attached to anything, it's mean and. You see? So wa mean and. I hope this is very clear now. So wa in here have a purpose, which mean and I made this line just to show you where it exists and what I'm going to talk about. Now let us read together. This verse is saying simply that's everything who live on earth and on heavens and on the sun and on the moon and on the stars and hills, the trees, the animals, the great number among mankind, all of them, they bow down and worship Allah. All of them, with no exception. So let us read together because the video time is so short. It says, see though not that Allah to Allah bow down in worship all things that they that are in. Be careful with me that about that are in. You see it? And now I know Muslims, they will say this is your own translation. No, it's not my own translation, this is your translation. And this is not my interpretation, it's very clear. And I will show you that. So, all things that they are not, they are in. Where? The heaven. The heavens. Now in here, always we remember in the videos of YouTube, Muslims they say to us, heavens mean universe. Muslims they play with the meaning up to their mind. The time they want it to mean heavens as paradise, they say it's paradise. The time they want it to be as universe, they say universe. Now, if they say universe, and they mention that many times, if this is mean universe, why Allah saying the universe and on the earth and on the sun and on the moon? Isn't it the universe is all of those? Does it make sense to say to you, I will give you my house and everything in my house, and then I say I will give you the spoon, I will give you my coffee? Come on, man, you said all the house and everything inside that house. The universe is everything. So this is a proof number one lie, that Muslims when they say heavens mean universe, it's not. Heavens mean paradise. Simple and clear. The Muslims believe the sky, the paradise have seven paradise, 7 floors, and Allah himself he live in the floor number 7. And I can prove that I will make a video later about it. So whoever live in the top of those following, in the heavens and on the earth and on the sun. And by the way, you see why I told you about the letter wa and? Because in the translation, wa mean and. The translation, they are just putting comma. You see the comma? There is no letter wa. because they are translating. But in Arabic, as-samawat, the skies or the heavens, wa, which mean and. The ard, the land, and. You see wa? Al-shams, the sun, wa. Al-qamar, and the moon, wa. Al-nujum, and wa, the stars, and the mountains, and the trees, and animals. So the reason I put this one in here to show you that it says and, not only comma. And will make a difference, because and mean it's something other, not the same. And. We don't count the same thing twice, right? So when the God of Islam says, whoever live in the top of the sun, he worship God. Is that a huge mistake, a foolish mistake of God? Who live in the top of the sun? Who live in the top of the sun? So Muslims, when they say to you, you know, God, he knows about astronomy, God, he knows about the space, about universe, just show them this verse and laugh at them. Your God know nothing, because if he knew, he will never say the one who live in the top of the sun, he worship me, and the one who live in the top of the moon. Who live in the moon? He worship Allah. Who live in the stars? And before I forget, don't forget in here that he's saying the sun and on the stars, and he put between the moon, which mean the sun for God of Islam, it's not a star, and I will show you that later. The sun, because if the sun is a star, there, you know, you just said already, and whoever live on the stars, that's it, the sun will be included. So there is no need to separate the sun from the stars. But still, something stupid to add to the stupidity of the God of Islam. So who live in the top of the stars? Worship God. Who live there? Don't you God, Allah knows that if you try to get close to the sun, you will be burned? Don't you know that there is no anything can live there? Who live there? Who live in the stars? Who live in the moon? So this is a very clear evidence that the one who made the Quran is a very false liar. I want everybody to add this to your YouTube. You know, this is very easy answer to show anyone. You know, you don't need to be smart to see it. It's very clear. So, and if they say to you, no, he's not saying that. He's saying the sun worshiping God. You know, the sun worshiping God. He is not saying that. He's saying all things that they are, things in the heavens and on earth, sun, moon. So you see, all things, not the star, not the moon. Because I know Muslims what they would try to say to defend. They will do whatever they can. So all things that are in the heavens and on earth and on the sun. Because I showed you the comma in here is not a comma. It's wa, which mean and, wa. And in the top of that, to add more stupid things to Islam and Quran, he's saying even the trees worship Allah. Even the animals worship Allah. And when you add the trees and animals, and when you say all things who live in the top of the sun and the moon and the stars, it means there is in the top of the stars, trees and animals. So, number one important thing, the God of Islam is saying to us that all things who live in heavens, you know, I have no problem if God says to me, there's right now some who live in heaven. I have no problem with that. And whoever live on the earth, I have no problem with that. But when he say, whoever live in the top of the sun, he worship me, this is a stupid lie. Your God, Allah is a liar. Whoever live in the top of the moon, he is a stupid liar. Whoever live in the top of the stars, he is a big liar. You know, and you will see if the scientists discover something live in the moon, the Muslim will say, Allahu Akbar, discovery of Islam. They will make a big video about it. But now they are so silent about it because scientists prove that there is nothing live there. Otherwise, they will make 3 hours video about the discovery of Allah. He is saying to us, whoever live in the top of the moon, he worship me. And because there is nothing proved by science anything can live in the top of any star, they are so quiet about it. So they will never mention to you the miracle of Islam about Allah saying whoever live in the top of the sun, whoever live in the top of the stars. And don't forget what is the verse saying, that animals are Muslims and the trees as Muslims. So when you see a cockroach is praying to God, you know he is a Muslim, and don't get offended. Thank you all. Jesus is Lord, Islam is false. Amen.